Perfect. Hello, Maritza. So good to have you.
Hi, Amy.
Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you tuning in from?
Well, I am a real estate agent in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've lived here my entire life. I've been in business with real estate, being a realtor for a little over 9 years now.
Over 9 years. Got it.
Yep.
And you have family and kids.
Yep. I'm married. I have three kids and a bonus daughter, so four. So I have Maddie, she just turned 25. I have Giselle, she'll be 16. Ivan will be 11, and Mateo will be 3 in November. So yep, all
Uh,
spread out.
all hands, very handful. Like yeah, you got your hands full with a lot of the kids and your business. Yeah.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Beautiful. Tell us a little bit about you and your life before the mentorship. So before you and I met, what was happening in your life?
So before you and I met, it was very much like a roller coaster. I had been when I started in business, it was going really good. And then I kind of came into the spot where it was stuck. I couldn't get past a certain point. And it just felt these ups and downs, and it was just a lot. So I was out there looking for help, like talking to other colleagues, like, hey, what are some good, what are you doing? So yeah, and then that's where I was referred over to you.
Yeah, good, good, good. And what has happened since we met, Marissa?
So since we've met, I mentally, my thoughts have changed. I've been more aware of, almost like self-sabotage in some things when it came to thoughts. So now I think different. I stop the way I think certain things, the way I look at other people. I do, read different things now, listen to different things and watch different things. So I'm more conscious, what I'm putting in, what I'm doing for myself, and what kind of energy I let come near me. So, yep.
Yes, and you've picked up a few new habits, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, so I started meditating, which I've never done before, and visualizing. That one had been a little bit harder for me, but it's getting there. It's definitely um working and becoming more of a habit. But yeah, it's visualizing, saying my affirmation. So a lot of things that I didn't do before I started doing now, definitely new um for me. But we're going what, 6 months now. So yeah, it's been great.
Yes, yes, beautiful. And share with us, like, what are those the habits that you've developed? How do they help you make the shift?
So for example, meditating, it put me in this calmer state, having my brain from going just all over haywired, and being able to visualize my goals of what I want and help me reach, living in the moment of like, never say, oh, I'll be happy when this and this happen. No, well, we're going to be happy right now because it's already happening, it's going to happen. So that's definitely helped a lot with that. Visualization, same thing, helping with my feelings of like feeling what I want to feel. Don't wait till then, feeling it now.
Absolutely. And also learn not to be affected by the market, right? What's happening out there.
Right. So I know we've had conversations where I've had agents reach out to me like, "Oh, how's this or how's that?" And at first I'd be like, "Oh, it's slow. Like this is happening." And then now I stop myself like, "Oh, no, it's going good," and just be more positive about it. So
Yes.
not feed into that or allow that. I mean, one of the examples was whenever we're talking about a client that was ghosting me, right?
Yes.
And
Ghosting.
then all of a sudden they came back. So I was pretty upset on that one. And I was like, but then after that I learned. So this is the recent one that decided not to buy. Then I didn't dwell on it. I was like, okay, I'll be fine. And then sure enough, come yesterday morning or the what was today? Yeah, yeah, yesterday morning he went ahead and was like, you know what? We're ready to go. We want to buy. So we got him under contract.
Beautiful. Just like that. How fast was that, Marissa? How fast was that?
So I was started working with him in June, mid June.
Mhm.
And then now we're the end of July. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's talk about what have you been manifesting? Because you manifested clients from quote unquote out of nowhere, right? So tell us about that.
Right. So, so I felt like when I started the program, like, man, my pipeline is low. Like, where am I even going to get these clients to sell and everything? And then as I was doing my, um, my visualization, my affirmations, all of that, um, all of a sudden there was like these clients come in, referrals from other agents from out of state, which was one of my goals, have more agent to agent referrals. So the majority of my referrals so far have been agent to agent. Um, the same thing with going with like what would be my ideal client, what price point. And so have been getting those, that type of client, the easy, um, you know, they've all so far every single one has been the ideal client that I would want. So,
Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's just break it down a little bit. So I think when you and I first started working, we wanted to have a clarity around your ideal clients. I think that was
right.
very important, right? And you
Yep.
had mentioned your ideal clients are a certain price range and professionals, right?
Yep.
And then um and and then you worked on your mindset, you worked on, affirming, visualizing, all these tools that you learned during the mentorship, right? So you did the work, and then what happened? Instead of chasing after leads or clients, you started to attract them. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I we like to use that word because you didn't know where they were going to come from. You had no idea, right? Some of these clients, no clue.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no clue. So, for example, one of them, agent to agent referrals, normally I see it from, like the Facebook group, social media, finding through there. But there was one day, there was just a random call that I answered. It was from a different number. And it was an agent from California saying, hey, I looked up for an agent in Fort Worth and I came across you. And I'm like, there's so many agents that come up before me, right?
Uh-huh.
But it was me. She's like, I just felt like you would connect and click really well with my client. And
Mhm.
so that was it. So I was like, okay, I can see this now because even when I Google my name, even whenever I just Google Fort Worth realtor, I'm not the first one that comes up.
So it
So
doesn't matter how they found you, right? I mean, it's not,
no,
who cares?
yeah, they're just gonna come. So one way or another, they'll find me.
Yes, yes. So tell us a little bit for the people that are watching, they may be thinking, what are you talking about? This is crazy. This is nonsense. And I know when you first started, when we're talking about these, when attracting clients, I know initially it was hard to believe, hard to grasp, even for yourself, right? In the beginning. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's still it's a work in progress. Because I know we've talked about our paradigm, and it's like it's just there. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely a work in progress. And once you start seeing some of these like results, you're like, okay, then it is something. I am attracting them. Something is happening, and I don't have to worry about the how. Like you're saying. So yeah,
Good. So how does that feel to not have to worry less? I want to say, I mean, I think as human, we still think about it, right? But we
right.
just catch ourselves and said no, right? Like I think,
Yes.
that's the paradigm we're talking about because it still comes out that little inner chatter we
Oh
all
yeah.
have, right? But you learn how to silence the inner chatter more and more so. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So I definitely learned how to stop that because I mean it's natural. It's a common instinct where like, oh my God, like, okay, I close these, like where else is it gonna come? Right. And then you go down the spiral and you're like, what's going on? And versus now, I'm like, no, like they're gonna come and they're gonna call me or I'm gonna connect with somebody. And yeah, it's definitely been working like that. And so I feel like every time that happens, it reassures me and it helps me tone down that paradigm more. So,
Absolutely. And have more faith, right? And what you're
yes.
what you're learning from this mentorship. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So how much I mean, it's just more than a peace of mind, right? Knowing that, hey, I don't have to worry where my clients are coming from. I just need to get clear on what I want and do my inner work, right? Because you still have to put in the work, Maritza. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you still have to do the work every day. Which at the very beginning it was a little, it was having to like it's something new, right? It's like if you go to the gym, okay, I'm going to the gym, and then you start like the first 1 2 weeks, and then you're like, then you fall off, right? But with this, like the visualization, I even start, we talked about. I put it in my phone, put it in a calendar, alarm, so I can start doing it to help with that. So,
And like with anything in the beginning, of course, it needs some time to get used to. But once you learn, once it become a habit, then it becomes easier and easier, right?
oh yeah, definitely.
So besides manifesting clients and transactions, share with us a little bit about you, because I feel like you manifested a new version of you. And then again, it's everything is always under construction. We're always working on
Right.
our, but you, for example, putting, you first, right? We talked about this.
Yeah. So I've always been a very people pleaser type of person and never really know what I wanted or needed. So with this mentorship, I put my focus on me first, because if I'm good, then I can help others even better, you know? So I did. So I went through, through the program, there's a part where you're talking about your image. So I worked on my image, and then it was kind of like, okay, whatever agent I want to be, how does that agent act? What does that agent do? So I start, living and doing that every day. I was working from home, and then so I went and got an office, to, just try to think what type of agent that I want to be, what do they do? So, and that's what I did, just focus on myself more, be more conscious, and, just work with me internally versus just going with like just going, just doing whatever, going with the flow. So,
Exactly. And how does that make you feel by putting yourself first?
oh, so much better, because and not everything blows up. Like if something was to go um wrong in a transaction or something, it used to be a huge deal versus now there's just ways to change that, change my mentality, same thing if somebody is in a bad mood or there's something wrong with them, right? So it's just easier, like, hey, well, no, there's something wrong with them, it's them, not me. But that's definitely helped more, uh you know with that aspect, just being more like, okay, what affects me, and we're not going to let that happen. If somebody else is not having a really good day in their business, or it's going slow, I can't allow that to drag me towards that direction.
Absolutely. And we don't take it personally because it's not you, right? It's them.
No. And it's not just help with business. I mean, it's helped at home, like it with the kids, with my husband. I mean, just with everybody. It's definitely changed the way I think, the way I feel. So if it doesn't sound good for me, but then I just don't do it.
Beautiful. That sounds good by putting you first, right?
Mhm.
And then everything else will fall into place, right? Yeah, beautiful. And so what made you decide to invest in this? I know you had mentioned, like before we met, things were going like up and down, but what made you to invest in yourself?
So I mean, I've always been into coaching, right? Real estate coaching, and I know mentorships, it's like you don't know what you don't know, right? And so then I was talking I've been messaging with one of my friends, one of my colleagues, and I was like, this is what's going on. I just feel stuck. And then that's when she mentioned she was coaching with you. And
Mhm.
so, and then she just kind of, and I started looking into it. And that's when I made the appointment. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it, because I know I do believe in mentorship. I do believe in coaching. I've always been in some form of coaching since I started in real estate, but it's always been real estate focused. It has never been a mindset, a me type of coaching. So, and I am so, so glad that I did.
Beautiful. Yes, because a lot of people, I mean, it makes sense, right? They go after the business coaching side of things if they want to grow their business, but they
Right.
never really think about, I'm going to invest in me, invest in my mindset, right? But at the end of the day, 95% of your results is actually your mindset. Only
Yeah,
5%
because
is,
if this is not right, then all that business coaching is not going to get applied. You're not going to do it. So,
right. And most people are not aware of that. So
right.
beautiful. And where do you think your life would be like if you didn't invest in this mentorship, Maritza?
I think I will still be stuck in the same place, stressing, worrying, having those negative thoughts and just people's all they're talking about the way the market is going. So yeah, it would definitely be a very, very hard year. I've even muted some real estate groups that I'm in for that exact same reason. Cause I'm like, I don't want to see them complaining and it is, yeah. So I'm just glad that I had gone into this mentorship because it's just helped change the way you think.
Yes, yes. And this is just the beginning, right? This is you're
Yes.
learning the tools and there's continuing to apply the tools. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. And the last question for you is for the people that are watching and they might be thinking, they might be on the fence if they should invest in themselves or in this mentorship. What would you say? Any words of encouragement?
I would say just do it. You have to invest in yourself. Um, and I mean, what if you can try to do it yourself. We can try to read all these books, all these self-help books and everything, but if you don't know how to actually execute and actually do the things, it's not going to work. And with this mentorship, you have the calls with the groups, and it just helps, listening to everybody else, what works, what doesn't work, and it's just very encouraging. It just changed the way you think and you see life completely different, and it is completely 1000% worth it to do it and invest in yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's one of the things is that when you want to change, you got to change your environment because your
Yeah.
environment is huge, right? So
Yeah.
so be around like-minded people who think differently, right? It's definitely a huge factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. And I always tell the students like I would love to get you back on later on and see what more manifestation you ended up manifesting in your life.
Yeah, no, that would be great. I would love to.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. Bye.